So you're coming to the Big Easy. You want to know what pitfalls to avoid? Stick around and we'll show you our top 5 mistakes made by first-timers. Hello everybody, Little Easy and I are going to talk about the top 5 mistakes made by visitors to the Big Easy. So everyone remembers that first time and that awkward and clumsy thing that can happen even on your repeat attempts. Things might not have gone smoothly.
You're talking about visiting New Orleans, right?
Well, yeah, of course. What else would I be talking about? Well, what I hope to do with this episode is to talk about what we think are the biggest mistakes made by visitors to the city. And this could be for folks that are here for the first time, people with multiple visits, or even locals that come to enjoy downtown and fall into some of these same mistakes. All right. Number 1 on the list is never leaving the French Quarter.
That's sad.
Yeah, it is. Many folks come to town and they get a prime hotel room in the quarter and then they never leave those 66 blocks. Now, I'll admit that the French Quarter has tons of stuff to offer and do, no matter your inclination, but it's a very small part of what makes up the Big Easy. I suggest you visit a widening area of places, starting with things close to the French Quarter, like the Marigny and the Central Business District, which was known as the American sector. Now, you can also see things along Magazine Street, great shopping, food, as well as Ottoman Park, which is where the 1884 Cotton Centennial was. If you have a favorite spot outside the French Quarter, share it with us below. Don't you think that's a good idea to get up and around? There's so many things to see in the city.
There's so much stuff. There's so much more than the French Quarter. Everybody just goes there to get drunk and party.
A lot of times, Jeff. But there's so much more.
There's more.
Now, number 2 is going to seem really simple. And you would think, well, that makes complete sense. I hope you do anyway. And that's carrying glass containers. It seems so ridiculous, but it's easily forgotten in light of our rather loose drinking practices.
We have an episode on that.
Yes. We have a very loose idea of regulations when it comes to alcohol. Now, hopefully you saw Little Easy and I's show on liquor laws. And if you haven't,
you should.
There'll be a link right here. You'll know that the major no-goes is glass containers. You could have your beer, wine, or mixed drink in a plastic cup, sometimes shaped like a hand grenade or other comical item.
Yeah, we have a weird thing with cups.
We do. It's fine china for us down south. But you can't have glass. Technically, the French Quarter is the only place where walking with an open container is allowed, but it's rarely enforced. So just be smart. Every bar and restaurant has Go cups for you. So take advantage and remember, don't drink and drive. Now, my number 3 mistake that I think people make. I guess I said this so don't worry about being a tourist. So many people come to town and they're worried. I only want to see the local stuff. I only want to see what's going on for the locals. And that's all well and good. I get having that authentic kind of idea. But guys, we are a city that derives a large portion of our city's income off of tourism in one form or another. So the businesses want you to visit. They want your money, trust me.
And your wallet.
Well, not necessarily like that.
But like everything. All the money in your wallet's what I mean.
Now, with that said, no one likes an Adam Henry. We know what an Adam Henry is. That's right. So, give those folks you encounter respect. Same thing you would want yourself. Treat them well and tip them appropriately. Your experiences will reflect it. Don't hesitate to come, carry your camera, drink your sweet and colorful drinks in the French Quarter. While you're there, you just might fall in love with our culture, people, and our way of life. All right. Number 4, the mistake of believing that Mardi Gras in New Orleans is the same as New Orleans.
No, absolutely not.
Mardi Gras, visiting New Orleans during Mardi Gras
is kind of like going to a completely different city.
It is a completely different city. those who have been here and visited at both times, I see you out there nodding your head, going, yep, he's right. He's exactly right. So when Mardi Gras happens down in the Big Easy, something happens with that season, especially the final weekend leading into Fat Tuesday, that it kind of changes everything, the whole vibe. Now, it brings hundreds and thousands of visitors, and that causes an adjustment to how things normally work. That tour you want to go on, that restaurant you want to eat at, or that museum you want to visit, it may have a change in their hours, their prices, or just their general availability. You've got to take that into consideration. Also, hotels are going to have mandatory room blocks to cover the days. You're not going to be able to come and pick just a couple of days usually because they're going to want to block over that whole Mardi Gras period. The city really gets into Mardi Gras groove, but it's more streamlined self during that time, all focused on Mardi Gras and not all the wonderful other nuances you could find. Now, don't take this to mean that you shouldn't come during Mardi Gras.
No, you should. It's awesome.
I think everyone should spend at least one Mardi Gras in New Orleans. It'll give you memories. Hopefully you'll remember them for a lifetime. But plan on coming back at another time and expect to have a totally different experience. Maybe for one of our other famous festivals, and get a feel for the city when it's running at its regular 3/4 time and not that hectic pounding pace of Mardi Gras. All right, that brings us to number 5.
Poor pre-planning.
Poor pre-planning.
You have a couple good stories about this.
Yeah, I'm kind of an over-planner to start with, but this happens a lot. There's something to be said for being spontaneous, I know, but a vacation without some planning can be a complete disaster. I just spoke with a couple in the French Quarter the other day. This is the day after Fat Tuesday. They had an even greater dazed look on their face than most of the post-Mardi Gras parties.
Oh, no.
Yes. They were from South Dakota, and they had booked a trip to New Orleans, but had no idea they were arriving on Mardi Gras Day.
Uh-oh.
Can you imagine that? You show up and, Happy Mardi Gras! And you go, Mardi what? Yes. So, can you imagine the shock that caused with them? Any plan they might have had got thrown out of the window. Now, that's truly an over-the-top example, but let me talk about a few things that I see and what I think you should do. When you book your hotel, you have to have an idea of your plans and transportation needs. Don't just take the cheapest place. Don't just take the cheap. It's easy for me to say. Don't just take the cheapest place. It'll end up costing you more in the long run with all the moving around and transportations. If you book a room on Bourbon Street and are a day person who's not going to be going out partying that night, you may be less than pleased when that nightlife starts kicking up and you hear all those loud noises and all that going on.
They like to party.
Yeah. So if you're planning on using public transportation, check that your hotel is close enough to access areas for it. Our streetcar line is phenomenal, and some hotels sit right on the streetcar line, and you can easily use it to get around. Next up is booking in advance. By this, I mean reservations at museums, on tours, or places to eat. I don't think you need to plan things in detail for a lot of things, but there are a lot of attractions that if it's a must see, or if it's that place you just feel you have to eat at.
Reservations.
Get your reservations in advance, because the last thing you want to do is get down here and realize...
And you're waiting for an hour in a line.
Yeah, or even worse, there's a big convention in town and they're completely booked and they tell you they can't take care of you for the night.
Yep.
My anniversary happens to be at the same week as a major convention every year. So if we want to go out and eat, we need to plan well ahead, or it's the value menu otherwise. So Little Easy got to go with us this year. So
yeah.
Big steak.
Big steak.
Big steak. So ask questions in advance. Hey, that's what I'm here for. Little Easy will even answer something.
Yeah.
But not just me. There are great Facebook groups and Reddit subs. You can let those people know in there what your itinerary is and get some advice. You can drop me an email or an IM, and I'm happy to help you also. I hope this gives you some insight into a few mistakes I've seen and ways to avoid them. Do you have some other mistakes you've seen or made? Put them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you about them. And we can address those in a future video. If you like this video, you know what to do. Hit the like button. Make sure you register and hit that little bell for notifications in the future. We want you to be part of our Big Easy Life.